Morning.
Morning, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Very good.
Yeah, I'm Detective Swartzkopf. I'm with the Phoenix Police Department. I asked you to write down today. I have some questions I have to ask you about some stuff, okay? Before we do that, I'm going to advise your rights. And the reason I'm going to do that is because you're in our custody, okay? It's not because we think you're going to be charged with anything necessarily, okay? So I'm going to advise you your rights. Then we get some personal information for you.
No problem.
Okay. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to the presence of an attorney to assist you prior to questioning and be with you during questioning if you so desire. If you're not an affording attorney, you have the right to have an attorney appointed for you prior to questioning. Do you understand these rights?
Yes, sir, yeah.
Let me get some personal information from you. And we'll get started here. Your last name is spelled how, Dale?
Hausner.
Okay.
First name is Dale,
D-A-L-E.
My middle name is Sean, S6512. And my present employer is with the city of Phoenix.
Oh, you're with the city of Phoenix? Is that that phone number 299-6512? Is that a cell, home, or?
My cell, I don't have a home phone.
Okay. And your current employer is City of Phoenix? Okay. And what's your address? You work?
Oh yeah, 3300 Sky Harbor Boulevard. Technically it's Terminal 2, but that's the physical street address. I work at Terminal T2.
Terminal 2?
Yeah, at the, I'm a custodial department, so.
Okay. Okay. And is there a work phone number for you? Do you know?
Yeah, area code 602. Let me think, I don't have to, 273 3436.
3436.
Okay.
What's your position there? What is it?
Custodial department.
Okay, what does that entail?
Just high janitors, the high paid janitors there, so.
Okay.
And my regular work hours are Saturday through Wednesday, 6 a.m. to 2:30 p.m.
Okay.
Always on. We bid every year for those kind of shifts.
Okay, you're off on Thursdays and Fridays.
Yes, sir. My height, weight, anything like that?
No, that's okay.
Like I told the other officers, I'll be more than willing to talk to you about anything you guys want to know about. So I'm not going to hide anything, and I'm not going to give you a hard time.
Fantastic, I appreciate that.
They were very.
I apologize for having to sit around for so long.
Well, I think part of it was my daughter has von Gerke's disease.
Has what?
A real rare disease, von Gerke's disease. And when they originally tried to take me away, I was like, wait, I can't leave her alone until the mom gets here because she's got a tube in her stomach that's hooked to a monitor. And if I'm gone and she's not here fast enough, so they had to wait for the mother to get there because we have shared custody.
Oh, okay.
So I had to stay there like 45 minutes sitting out front of the apartment. I think that might have been part of the delay. So.
Oh, I apologize.
They were real nice about it. And then when she started waking up, I said, I gotta make sure the tube didn't come out, and they walked me over there. So they were very nice, and I appreciate that.
Okay. How long have you lived at the McKellips address?
I moved in April of 05, if I remember correctly. If I'm a little off, I apologize.
Okay, that's all right. And have you always lived there by yourself?
Yeah. Well, the last month I've had a kind of guy stay with me for 4 or 5 weeks now, but it's always been by myself. Myself and my daughter are the only ones on the lease.
And what's your daughter's name?
Rebecca, Rebecca.
Same last name?
Her middle name's Joy. And her last name is the same, Shausner. Her date of birth is 1404.
Okay. Alright, so that makes her about 2.5 years old.
Yeah, in fact, today she's 31 months old. So.
Okay. Now, you said that you shared custody of her?
Well, it's not really court-ordered shared custody. What it is I get on my days off, Mom gets on her days off, and we split her up.
Oh.
Mom is in the medical field, so she, a little bit better trained.
What's Mom's name?
Linda.
Okay.
Swaney, Swaney.
Are you guys, what's your marital status?
Never been married.
Oh, okay. Alright, so she's just the mother of the child and you're the father? Okay. Linda Swaney, Swaney? Okay.
Need her address or anything, or phone number?
Sure, go ahead.
Her address is 4305 East Cherry Hills Drive, Chandler, AZ, 85249.
How about a phone number for her?
Her home is 480-802-0252. And her cell is 602-550-1429. And her work is 480-461-2269.
Okay. You said that you have a roommate now, is that right?
Well, not really a technical roommate. He's just staying with me until he finds another place to stay.
Okay, and who is that?
Sam Dietman.
Sam Dietman?
Like Diet Man.
T-E-A...
It should be just Diet Man if I remember correctly.
Diet Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's 30 years old. He was born a day before my brother was, which would be that's right, October 17th. Let's see, what's the year? 66. So maybe he was 76. So I know he's 30 years old. He should be this year.
Okay. And he lives there at the McClintock or the McKell's address with you.
Yeah, he's been there a little over a month. I think he came in to stay with me like the 2nd of last month.
Okay. So. Does he stay there all the time? Does he have his own place?
No, he doesn't have his own place. So.
Okay. So all his stuff is there basically. His property, his personal property.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He's got shoes and clothes and whatnots, and tools and stuff like that.
Okay. Does Sam work?
Right now, no, he doesn't. He's in the process of trying to find a job. Okay. I thought he could stand before me until he gets on his feet because he had nowhere else to go. So, seems like a pretty good guy.
How long have you known Sam?
I don't know, 6 months, a year. Let me give you more exact than that. Probably the better part of a year, maybe 9 months. 9 months to a year.
And how'd you guys meet?
Through my brother.
Okay.
He was helping him work on a house and stuff, and Sam's been over to Linda's house doing electrical work and stuff, and some side jobs.
And your brother's name is?
Jeff.
Okay. All right. Did you ever live on the west side? Did you ever live in West Phoenix? You yourself?
A long time ago, yeah. I mean, years and years, but...
Okay. So I thought I ran across an address in West Phoenix for you. Does that not... Do you ever live physically over there?
Years and years ago.
Okay, it hasn't been anything recently.
No.
Where does your brother Jeff live?
91st Avenue in Camelback.
Do you know the exact address by any chance?
No, I'm sorry.
Did you ever stay with him at one time?
No. No, I wouldn't want to stay over there.
Okay.
It's less than desirable over there. There's a lot of roaches that he smokes in the house.
Gotcha.
I don't smoke, so every time Sam smokes, I don't go outside. So.
Okay.
What address did you get from the west side of me?
I thought that was the address. Maybe I was confused with your brother. I thought maybe that was the address that I had for you on the west side.
Oh no.
Okay. So you never stayed over there?
The night maybe. No, actually no, I hadn't even spent the night over there. Now I think about it. I fell asleep on the couch when opening that couch. So no, I never actually lived over there. Never got mail over there. Never did laundry over there. Anything like that. So.
Do you own a vehicle?
Yes, I do. It's a 1998 Toyota Camry, and it's a license plate RHZ537, unless it's silver, not 537 or anything else.
Okay.
And it's blue.
Okay. How long have you owned it?
I bought it February 3rd of 05, the day before my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Before that, I owned a 1988 Buick. No, it's
February of 05, you said. Is that right? For that.
February 3rd. I know because it was the day before my birthday. So
Gotcha.
it
Okay.
was like
And what did you own before that? I'm
I
sorry.
think it was a Buick. I'm sorry, 1988 Buick. LeSabre might have been.
But as far as owning vehicles now, that's
I
all
own
you
one
own.
vehicle house registered to me. Yes, sir.
Gotcha. Rental properties, storage units, anything like that that you currently rent or own or have stuff in? You know, nothing. Okay. So everything that you own is pretty much in your apartment. You can put your stuff there. Okay. Okay. Have you had anything to drink tonight? Or Smoking anything or anything like that?
And, yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been drinking a little bit and I've been smoking a little bit.
Okay. Can you tell me what it is, or?
Yeah. Well,
Okay. I just so I know.
I understand. I was making some mixed drinks, which would be for me. I like amaretto.
Okay.
And I like I have some vanilla schnapps.
Okay.
And I don't know, maybe a little vodka.
Okay. And as far as smoking?
A little methamphetamine. But it wasn't tonight. It was a couple nights ago. It was probably Tuesday night.
Okay, so it's been a while. It wasn't tonight?
No.
Okay, all right. Do you have a meth issue, a meth addiction at all?
I don't think I do. I mean, I'm casual use. I never do it around my daughter and stuff like that. So whenever I have my daughter, I never do it. I'm not one of those people that, I gotta have it right now. So.
Okay. How often do you have your daughter?
I have her Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then whenever else I want her.
So it's a cordial relationship with your...
Yeah, well, cordial as you can get without,
Well, let me ask you that. I found that there was an issue of did she try to take a restraining order against you for some reason? Is that?
No, what it is she gets periodically, typical woman, I don't know what you think, but she gets mad at me because I didn't want to commit a relationship even though we have a baby together, and she'd get mad at me for not wanting to be with her, and then she would fight and she'd call me names and I'd hang up on her and she'd call me back, and so we got into a fight. Can't remember exactly. 2 weeks away, I had a big fight. I told her, fuck off, I'm tired of listening to you. I've been nice, but you've been calling me all these names, fuck you. And I told her, I never want to be with you, I'm not going to be with you, the hell with you, and everything you stand for. Hung up on her, and then 2 or 3 days later, somebody knocked on my door and said, court ordered papers, and what it was she wants to change Rebecca's last name back to, she wants to change her name to Swaney. A good kick in the ass from me, because she knows I fucking hate that. And then she said she also wants me to have to go to some parenting classes, as does she. In the papers it says that her and I both have to go to these classes. She also wants me to pay child support, even though it pisses me off. I pay more than I should right now with all the crap I buy for her. I'm paying more. And she also wants me to be tested constantly for methamphetamine. And I told her I'll go to all your classes, I'll do all your stuff. I've passed all her drug tests she's ever given me. And I told her I have no problem doing all that stuff if you want me to.
I take it this is a bitter issue between you and your former, I'll call her girlfriend, she weren't married, right? Mm-hmm. Is it?
Well, we just go back and forth. She gets pissed off because I didn't want to marry her. I never really wanted to marry her, and she figured that out. I didn't want to marry her; I just wanted to have a baby because I had 2 kids before that passed away in a car wreck in 1994, and I was childless.
I'm sorry, it's gonna be tough as a parent.
Yeah, it is. And, I've been in counseling for 12 years now, so. But we for a long time we didn't fight. We were cool and stuff. I guess when she realized I wasn't coming around to wanting to move back in with her because I lived with her for about a year. When she found out I had been smoking methamphetamine, she gave me the boot, and I left.
Okay. How long have you been employed by the city of Phoenix?
It'll be 8 years as of January. So.
Always at the airport?
Yeah, always a little life janitor. Yeah, for 8 years. Yeah. I love it.
Do you happen to know what your salary is, made, Jen?
$30,000 a year. That's what it's supposed to be. It's a lot less actually because I miss a lot of time for my daughter, which is unpaid. So
because of her condition.
Yeah,
I understand. Okay. All right. Do you have any idea why you're down here today?
I think so.
Do you?
Sam and I were at the casino about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, and they pulled us in there and read us a riot act. They said we were slashing a bunch of tires out in the parking lot, which is a filthy lie. I don't know what their problem was, but they grilled us. They took our pictures. They just looked in my car. Found my ice pick because I'm also a bartender, and they gave us a bunch of shit about that and said you never allowed back on the casino property. We had him on tape slashing tires, we have a tape doing this, and I told them I come here to relax. If I lose money, I'm not mad at anybody else. So
you don't blame it on anybody else.
Yeah, I'm like, look, I'll answer all your questions. You don't need a search warrant. Check in my car for anything you want to check. Searched it, Greg came out and said, what the hell is this? I said, that's a center punch used for, Sam told him what it was because he uses center punches. I really don't know what it is. I guess it's to mark steel. They found a knife. I said, that's what I used to cut my lines with. They found an owl. That's what Sam uses for this. They found an ice pick. I said, well, the ice gets quite later together. I use it on that. I said, I'm not using that on anything. They said, you guys are the hell out of here and never come back. And I said, no problem.
Did they say anything about this incident being captured on video?
Yes, they did. They said, we know it was you, we have it on video, but we're not going to prosecute you. And I'm like, If you have it on video and you knew it was us, don't think I would know you would prosecute me. You're doing what you can, which is fine. I never came back, and I have a feeling that they decided to bust our ass on it, so I'm pretty sure that's what it is. This is kind of severe for the SWAT team to come out, I think. I mean, Jesus Christ, scared the shit out of me.
All right.
The only thing I can think of is maybe they found out I was using drugs or something, or they're a pretty big ass sting or something, so it's either one of those two things. That's the only thing I can think of.
All right. Well, it's a little more complicated than that, unfortunately. The person that you've allowed to come into your home, Mr. Diekman, has made some very curious remarks to some different individuals about a series of crimes that I'm currently investigating across the city of Phoenix. Do you consider Mr.
Have anything to do with my daughter?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you for your opinion because I have to get all this information from you about Mr. Diekman, okay? Now, you told me to be honest with me.
I absolutely will. I've told you. I mean, I don't know if you're going to drug test me or not, but...
No,
okay.
I'm not going. That has nothing to do with this,
Okay.
okay? This concerns Mr. Diekman, and I want... You need to be honest with me about this.
I will tell you everything you want to know.
Okay. Does Mr. Diekman own weapons?
Not that I know of. He might have... He's got a lot of knives and stabbing weapons and, like I said, owls. I'm really not his spot.
Okay, so no guns as far as you know?
As far as I know.
Well, he lives with you, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen guns in your house?
I have guns. I have lots of guns.
What about Mr. Diekman?
I have to say no. Unless he... Now, I do never go in his stuff, and I've asked him that he never go in mine. So if he has got a small caliber handgun or even a big one in his duffel bag, I would not know about
Okay, it would be concealed and then you wouldn't know
I
that.
would not know about it. He has not said, hey Dale, look at this. Let's say it's a 9mm Glock Luger. Set it down and said, what do you think of that? That's a beauty. So no, I do not believe he has any guns.
Okay, all right. And so, I'm taking that if it was concealable, you probably want to see it, but if he owned a long rifle, you would know about it.
Yes, I would know about that.
Your apartment, 2-bedroom?
One.
1-bedroom.
Yeah, he sleeps on an air mattress on the front room.
Okay. Your daughter has a crib or something in your room?
In my room, up 3 feet from my bed, because I gotta listen to the monitor because it goes doot, 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 means oh shit, get your butt in there. And I can afford a 2-bedroom. I didn't want one because I don't want her having her own bedroom because I don't want some asshole crawling everywhere at night and stealing her because I already lost 2 kids and if I lose another one, I just will not be able to.
Okay.
Absolutely will go bonkers. I can't do that again.
So he doesn't own any guns?
I have a lot of guns.
Can you tell me what kind of guns?
Every guns I have.
Go ahead.
I have a 12 gauge that my dad gave to me.
What kind do you know?
Sir, I'm sorry, I bought it 35 years ago. I'm sorry. I'm sure you guys already have it in custody, so you guys can look at it. I'm sure if you guys...
We have it in custody.
I'm sure you do already. If you guys are looking for guns in there, I'm sure you already have it, so you can...
No, I'm asking you.
Oh, no, I have no idea. It's an old-fashioned...
Just tell...
break open, old...
One single shot?
Yeah, it's a single shot.
Not double barrel?
No.
One barrel?
Oh, let me think. It's single barrel. I have a 19... I'm sorry.
Go ahead. All right, yeah, okay, go ahead. Single barrel shotgun, 12 gauge.
19.
Do you have ammunition for that gun too?
Ammunition?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you know what kind, by any chance?
Federal, probably. I buy whatever's cheapest. I have lots of... You'll find other stuff besides federal.
Are you a hunter?
Yes, I'm not technically a hunter. I like to go out shooting on the desert and stuff.
Gotcha.
So
are you consider yourself a weapons person?
Oh, I love weapons, yes I do.
Okay, all right, so...
I have more. Get ready.
Okay, go ahead.
I have a 1918 303, which I do not have any weapons for. Excuse me, I do not have any ammunition for.
Okay.
I have several pellet guns, probably 4 to 5 pellet BB guns.
Okay.
I have a 28 gauge single shot.
That's an odd gun to have.
It is. That's when I thought it was a misprint in the newspaper when someone said that. I said, I called the guy up and said, they typed in a 0 instead of an 8. He said, no, it's a 28. I said, no, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Went up to Walmart. Yes, it was. Put one on the way. We bought it about 3 weeks later. 28 gauge, and I do have ammo for that.
Do you know what kind?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, but when you said you weren't a hunter, and I hunt birds, so I'm just asking. Do you know what your the specific shot is that you use in your 12 gauge? Do you have to know what your ammunition shot is?
Probably bird load, 7 to 7.5.
Okay.
Sometimes I bought is it called double aught or triple aught? One of those.
There's both.
Okay, just to check it out. It was a very, very hard jerk.
Okay.
I'm only 170 pounds. I didn't like it. I only fired it a couple of times. When I took that out, my dad got me that for a long time. He's 75 years old or whatever. He decided he's just going to give it to me. I've got more guns too. So.
Okay, okay, we got 12 gauge, we got 303, we got 4 to 5 pellet guns, we got 28 gauge shotgun. Okay,
I've
what else
got
we
a
got?
20 gauge single shot. I believe most of them are just the generic ones like New England Firearms or stuff like that. So.
Okay, single shot.
I also have ammo for that. I have Federal and Bird 7.5, 5, probably a couple of double lot, maybe a slug or two for the thing. I haven't shot it in a while.
Okay. Okay, so we got 20 gauge, we got 28 gauge, 12 gauge. What are anything
I have
else?
2 410s. One is a pump.
Let's do the first one. Let's do 1 410 shotgun pump action. Pump. Okay.
Oh, I think it holds 4.
Okay.
I shoot that the most. I like that because it's a smaller type gun.
Pistol grip or with the
One of them has been sawed off to made into a pistol grip, not the pump. So that one is just regular, just regular standard.
so you got 1 410 shotgun, and it's
Pump action 410.
okay. 410. Okay.
I'm
And
sorry,
you think that holds 4 rounds?
It's either 3 or 4. I don't want to tell you the wrong information. It
Okay.
doesn't get mad at me.
Don't plug it or anything like that. It's
No,
just-
no,
okay.
sir. I haven't modified it. No.
Okay.
Only gun I modified was my 410 single shot break open because I didn't like the way that the thing felt on my shoulder. So
Okay, let's talk about that one. So we got modified 410 single shot.
the modified part of it, which does not make it illegal, is we sawed the handle off.
Okay, so the barrel's not
The
sawed
barrel
off.
is- no.
So that's legal. You just made. Did you make it? Was it like a pistol grip out of it? Is that basically
Yeah,
what it is?
kind of, yeah.
Okay. But you sawed it off. It didn't come as a pistol grip.
No, sir.
Okay, so modified 410 single shot
Break open.
break open. So it's a 1 round. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what kind that is by chance?
Sure, I apologize. They're all just like standard New England Firearms or NATO's or.
Gotcha. What about ammunition for the 410s?
Yes, I got lots of that. I've got it in my trunk, and I've got it. I got some for the 20 in the trunk. I got them in my closet. I've got all my ammo is in my closet. They're in the 100 pouches or whatever the camouflage pouches you have.
I gotcha.
I've got a bunch of those in boxes in my storage outside and in my house. I have some in my trunk of my car. That would probably be it.
Okay.
None of my guns are loaded, so if they can check them out. I can bring them all down here. I'll sign a release.
Okay.
Check them out. None should be loaded. I'm very careful.
Okay,
about
I
that.
appreciate that. I'm sure with a small child that you're very careful about the way you handle your guns. Okay. So we got 2 410s.
Actually, let's flip it over and make sure I got them all.
Okay,
I believe that's it. I don't want
we
to
got
get
we got a 12 gauge,
Okay.
the 303 pellet guns. We got a 28 gauge, got a 20 gauge, and 2 410s. Is that right? Any handguns?
No, sir.
No handguns. You're a shotgun kind of person.
Yeah, I
Most
don't.
part.
I'm not accurate. I can't hit shit with a handgun. I tried.
Oh, with a handgun?
Yeah, I can't hit anything. In my hand, I have a bad hand, so it's hard for me to shoot anything. So.
With a handgun, you
Yeah,
mean?
because I got stabbed right here. I came out this side and had surgery. So, and I can't shoot a gun more than a couple of times anyway. So when I go out, I don't have to go out. I will walk. You know, my brother and I, or Sam and I, will go way out and we walk. In a canteen, we just walk way out there at Wickenburg, or we take the I-10 to 335th Avenue, and then you take a right and you go way out in the desert, and just beautiful landscaping and ravines and stuff. And
Just do a lot of bird hunting out there. Okay, so saw it off at the butt. Okay. And we're talking about the ammunition, that you have a ton of ammunition for your 410. is
I have
that
done it for every one of my, except the 303, because, and I don't think I have any stuff in my pellet guns.
Okay. Now, let's see. So we got. Do you know what kind of shots you got for your shotguns out? By your 410s?
I probably have some of everything. I
Okay.
have like 5 shot, 7.5 shot, 8 shot, maybe a slug or 2. Because the slugs only come in like 5 packs.
Right.
So if I take it out there and I shoot, that's not too. I don't know how many I've shot. I don't want to tell you guys.
How often do you? I'm just curious, and I'll explain why I'm asking this. How often do you go buy ammunition, or do you go through a lot of rounds? Do you blast a lot? I mean, you shoot a lot. Are you?
When I go out, I do. Yeah.
Okay, so
If I'm going to go all the way out there, I'm not just going to shoot 1 or 2 shots.
So you
I went out and tried my 28 gauge when I just got it, maybe last month. I had it for a while, and I let my neighbor borrow my 20 gauge about 2 months ago. And I use all kind. I go through a lot of. Whenever I see a good deal on it, sometimes it'll be on sale. Sometimes hard to find 28 gauge rounds too. So everything's separated in my closet. 410s are here. 12 gauges are here. In an orange cup should be like my 20 gauges and stuff. I keep everything separated so when I want to go. I also have everything in my fanny pack. I have 2 fanny packs, one for me and one for whoever else is going with me.
All right.
Now, real quick, you had said Sam was yapping about doing some crimes or something like that. You said,
yeah. That's what I was talking about. That's why I asked you about your guns. That's why I wanted to make sure. Are your guns locked up?
Mm-hmm. No, unfortunately, I think I've been locked on them.
Okay.
So it's not illegal though, so as long as they're not loaded.
No, I understand.
I'm careful. I have a 31-month-old daughter who's inquisitive and curious, and even though I have one eye on everything else, one eye on her, I don't have a gun safe. I don't have any of that kind of stuff.
All right. I get the reason I'm asking about the safe is that Mr. Dietman's lived with you for a month, correct? Mm-hmm. So in that period of time, while he lives with you, can you physically say where he was at any particular time?
Tonight I can. He was with me tonight, and I dropped him off.
But you work, correct?
Oh yeah,
and he doesn't.
No,
correct.
I go to bed between 9 and 11, depending on what night it is. I'm off Thursdays and Fridays. I have my daughter, so when I'm home and I got my daughter, I can never leave. I can't say, hey Sam, I'm going to the grocery store. I'll be back at 5. I have to be there all the time. So when Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, I'm always at home and I'm always with my daughter. If I'm not there, I go to my mom's house. But I never leave her for more than, I'm real close because of her disease. She can pass away literally in 3 hours. Okay. So, but as far as where he is all the time, I have no idea. He walked over to Walmart.
Has he ever, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, no, I'm fine.
Has he ever talked about, made mention of the fact that he actually used any of your weapons in any crimes whatsoever?
No, absolutely not. If he's ever robbed anybody with my guns, he never told me about it. I would throw him the hell out of that. I'm very law-abiding citizen. That's why I was very offended at the Indian people when they said that I was slashing tires. I'm just like, if you check my criminal record, I have not been in any trouble.
Well, that's one thing I want to talk about. I mean, looks like you had some stuff a while back.
Long time ago,
but I mean, you're 33 years old. So it's obvious that people run. I don't see anything here. I don't see a violent history in your past at all.
Well, I'm not around.
Okay. All right. Well, let me explain it to you like this, I guess. Here's the nuts and bolts of this. Mr. Dietman has decided to flap his gums, and because he's flapped his gums, he's brought his world into your world. Okay. And I'm going to ask you some very specific things about what you do or don't know. Okay?
I'll be very happy to answer all of them.
Okay, just please don't BS me. Just be honest with me.
I'm going to tell you everything you want to know. So.
Okay, all right. I'm going to hold you to that.
I've been with the city for 8 years. I passed their background checks. I have a little girl.
Okay.
I don't need any trouble. If he's robbed anybody with my guns, you can confiscate them and do what you need to do with them. I don't need a gun. They're all.
Has he ever mentioned about shooting anybody with your guns?
No, absolutely not. If he did that,
you'd give him the boot. You wouldn't allow that to happen. Is that correct?
No, with my guns, no, absolutely not. But he does it on his own time to say stuff. But if he's ever came to me and said, "Oh, by the way, you use 12 gauge and over there and gun somebody down," I said, "Okay." I'd have to say, "Oh, that's wonderful." And then when he left to go do something, I have to call somebody because I don't want anybody like that around me.
And who would you call if you knew that?
Yeah, I don't know. Probably the cops. Yes. Let's see if he came home and said, "Oh, by the way, yeah," I'd probably have to wait till he left because he's a big guy. He could whip the shit out of me. He's very strong. So I'd have to wait till he left and then call somebody. Probably one of their silent witness or something.
Okay.
Or I don't know, maybe it's police department, or I'd go to work and talk to the officer there about it or something. I don't know. That hasn't been. I've never even thought of it because it hasn't really been an issue. So it's like, what would you do if you found?
Have you been following at all what's going on in the city of Phoenix lately?
Absolutely, I've been following the baseline rapist and I've been following the serial killer.
What do you know?
I know everything that's in the newspapers because I even clipped them out and saved them. I have all the clippings at the house. That's the recent, and I even have some backdated stuff. I keep track. I know that they're looking for a black guy with a wig. He's 25 to 30. He's 5'10" to 6 foot. He's 170 pounds. And I keep track of the serial killer. The other guys that are going around shooting people.
What do you know about that particular case?
35 people shot, animals, horses, dogs, 5, 6 people dead. Several cities, counties, whatever you call them, been shot up. Let me think. Serial killer. I guess that's about it.
Okay. Is there any particular reason why you've taken such an interest in these?
I find it interesting. I have a movie called The History of Violence. I also have the movie Starkweather, which was the first time, I don't know if you know any of this stuff. Charles Starkweather was the first person to ever go on a serial killing spree in America. He was from Nebraska, which is really my hometown.
Well, enlighten me, because I don't know. I've never followed serial killers, never really been involved.
It's very fascinating. I don't know why. In fact, you can't turn the radio on or anything without people talking about it. It kind of appeals to the morbid side of people, like the boogeyman or something like that. Mm-hmm. And you can't go anywhere without hearing about it. And I'm sure you get sick of hearing about it being a police officer, but you can't go to a bar, you can't go to anywhere. My work, people are always cracking the newspaper open. I'm into garbage cans to read about the serial killer. It's everywhere. I find it very interesting. And I bet
this series.
Yeah, this series.
But
I find all of it. I think it's.
But historically, are you a person that knows a lot about serial killers?
Not really. Just lately, they've been talking of. Starkweather, I know because I'm from Nebraska.
Okay.
I don't know much about the Son of Sam or the Zodiac Killer, or I know a little bit about BTK because that just happened and stuff. Mm-hmm. But as far as historically, I don't study them with a passion or anything. But it does pique. You know, I kind of like I like boxing too, so I don't know if that has anything. Kind of like the rough stuff. I mean, I'm not a rough guy or anything, but I find it interesting. I would love to sit down with some fool like Jeffrey Dahmer or something, just ask him, why in the hell would you want to eat all those people? And what the BTK killer? I mean, he killed 11 people for no absolute reason. There's just no reason for that. Why? And just to have them chained up, of course. And that's what the hell were you thinking? What the hell? Why do you normal 1 second? What makes you click over to be a maniac the next? I just don't get that. I've never understood that. And it's just, to me, it's fascinating in a morbid way. I mean, nothing really wrong with it, but I saved all the clippings from the from the serial killer and from the serial sniper, and I got them at home in a scrapbook.
I'll just ask you, because since you've been studying this, and obviously this is something
I know a little bit about the stuff that's going on.
Okay, give me a feel for what is it you think is going on? Give me an idea of.
Okay.
Give me your best guess.
I have two things. Okay. I think the baseline rapist could very well be also doing the shootings, because there's reason to cover up, there's reason to kill people. Okay, greed.
I'm sorry, what?
Greed, jealousy,
sure.
Covering up another crime,
okay.
Homicidal maniac. I can't remember the other one, but I think he's just a fucking nut. The baseline rapist. Anybody who's going to stab people and cut their heads off and rape those 14-year-old Mexican girl that he did. The guy's sick. Why doesn't he just say, well, if they're looking for me, let's look for somebody else too? And he drives around and shoots people.
What about the serial shooter? Give me a profile.
That's what I'm talking about him.
Oh, you said the baseline rapist.
He's also doing the serial killing too. It could be very well. It could easily be him, or it's gang related. Is what I think. Because
that's kind of. I mean, I work gangs, and obviously in my current position in violent crimes, I work a lot of shooting cases and stuff. And gang initiations usually don't go on serial sprees. There's usually, and there's usually not one person tied to those things. That's just something that happens for initiation.
You don't know stuff like that. From what I get, I mean, you guys have a lot more information than me, but
well, you're pretty up to stuff.
I love this stuff, and I wish they would catch the guy, but I mean, I love this stuff as far as is to find out. They have
which guy do you wish to?
Balls, any of them, yeah. I mean, especially the rapist. Any other guy's worse than a serial shooter because he's killed more people, and rape is a very personal thing. But I think gang. It could very well. I mean, they don't know. They don't know who's doing it. They don't know if they do know how many people are doing it. They're not telling us. They're not telling us the caliber of the weapon, although we know it's a shotgun because if they show him on TV, the kid lifting up his shirt, and all the shotgun blasts and some old fart was on TV, showed us his back or whatever it was. I know what shotgun blast looks like. I own 5 or 6 shotguns. I know what they look like. Unless he was shot with a machine gun, that's a shotgun blast. Okay. So it could be a gang that says, "Hey, Marco, here's my shotgun. Go out, kill somebody. Use my brother's Ford pedal, and we want to hear it on the news. You in our gang punk." And then he comes back and says, "Oh, I did some Mexican guy on the street, last night." So I think it could either be the baseline killer, or it could be gang related. But I mean, with all the nuts you have out there, it could be anybody. I mean, it could be guardian angels. It could be one of those idiots. It could be anybody. So I hate to cut this short. Can I use the bathroom real quick, and then I promise
Yeah. That's okay.
I'm sorry, I've been drinking a lot of water and I'm so thirsty.
Are you, I'll get you some more water. Do you want to just go use the restroom quick and we'll get
I
back?
promise.
Okay.
I'm gonna forget where I'm at.
Okay, good.
Guardian Angels. I'm sorry, I hate to do this.
No, that's okay. That's
And then another water would be wonderful.
okay. I'll get you out of here real quick and I'll get you out of here. Yeah, just a sec, okay.
Thank you, Oscar.
I'll help you there. Okay, let's see if you remember how perceptive you are. Where do we leave off?
We were talking about who I think did it.
Oh, what?
Who I think did it?
Yeah, we used to have you were going to talk about the guardian angel.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. Yeah. See. All right.
Okay,
You did
no,
good.
I think it's either the Jason killer doing all of it.
Okay.
And you think, so smart, I raped that girl, now they're not going to be looking for the rapist, they're going to be looking for someone shooting. Or it's gang related. Or, and then I said, hell, it could be anybody. I wouldn't be surprised if they said it was one of those stupid guardian angels walking around with their red berets and their bottled water. You know, I don't know what the hell they think they're doing, but I guess they're doing
So
something.
those are your theories. Okay.
That's what I think.
All right. In talking about Sam, I may have asked this, I forgot. You've known him for how long have you known Sam?
About 9 months.
9 months.
Yeah.
Okay. Has he ever had access to your vehicle where he drove, where he's had the keys and he took off, or?
No, I have a spare set hanging up by my front door. Spare set, and I've got several sets, but I keep my set on me or in access of me. But
I assume because you work and he doesn't, that the car goes with you when you're working or anything.
Yeah.
So the car, well, he wouldn't have access to the car without you being there.
From 5:36 a.m., which is when I have to leave every day, exactly at 5:36. But only by then I'm late till 3 o'clock. The car is mine. Nobody drives it. It's mine. I own it. It's my car. I'm not going to be. I'm not going to be dropped off at work. So I've mentioned to Sam a couple of times, if you ever needed it for job leads, let me know. And the night before, don't drink at all, and then you can take me to work. But make sure you pick me up at 2:30 because I hate waiting, especially when it's my car. I don't want to wait. But as far as do I let him drive it with my knowledge? No, he doesn't drive my car. But I mean, hell, I guess.
Now, in the month that he's lived with you, has he had? I mean, would there be a time where he would take your car without your knowledge? Is that ever possible?
How would I know? I mean,
Well, that's what I'm asking.
knowledge. I
Okay.
have no idea.
No, what I'm
I've never
saying.
come out and went to use the bathroom and Sam not been on the couch and walked out and seen my car.
That's my question.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Okay.
But I'm.
So if Sam has ever been in your car, it's always as a passenger, correct? Never as the driver. Is that to the best of your knowledge?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, but like I said, I've got keys hanging right up on my front door. If somebody wanted to take me, I guess they could. But
Well, I mean, have you ever woken up and seen that
No,
your gas tank is a quarter tank?
I don't even keep track of the gas tank. So.
Right. So as far as you know, while you're sleeping, and you work all day and you have to get up early, while you're sleeping, as far as you know, you don't think he's taken your vehicle out and done anything?
I don't know. He could have.
Okay, that's what I'm asking you.
I have no idea. I'm just gonna tell you that I don't know. That's one of the
So
things.
it's a possibility?
Yeah, I mean, he could, I suppose, if he wanted to, but that wouldn't be very nice. I wouldn't like that at all. If I found out about it, I'd have to ask him what in the hell was so urgent you had to take my car for, Because,
Do you have a driver's license even know?
I believe he does, yeah. It's my car. I don't want to wait when I'm, plus he likes to drink a lot, so, I mean, I drink too, but not as much as he does, so.
Does Sam do meth too?
Yes.
Okay. Is he addicted to meth? Do you think?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no idea. I just tell him what I do around my daughter, I have to get the fuck out of my house, so.
I
she's okay.
Let's talk
So
about Sam.
I'm sorry. So he's been running around telling me he's been shooting people with my guns in my car. Or
Well, that's what I mean. That's the crux of this thing I need to get through. Okay, you're following this series of shootings. It's obvious
there's
that
a lot of
you're-
people. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
My problem is here is that a person has come forward and actually gave me information that Mr. Dietman has been bragging about being the shooter in this particular series of crimes. Does that shock you?
Yeah, it does. I can't believe that.
Do you think it's possible? Do you think that would be Sam just flapping his gums, or do you think is it possible that he could do something like that?
I don't know. He's been in trouble with a lot. I'm sure you have his rap sheet for violence and stuff, but I don't know if he's ever.
Well, actually, I do, and I guess that's what I want to ask you about. You know him, I don't. I mean, when I talked to him, the first time I ever get a chance to talk to him, and I'm hoping for some background information from you that you can help me feed at this. He doesn't have a violent history at all. I mean, he's gotten a couple bar fights, and it appears that, he's obviously unemployed. Do you know what he does for a living, by the way?
Electrician.
Does he? But he hasn't worked as far for a while. Is that right?
I don't know how long it's been, but I know it hasn't been.
How does he earn his money? What does he do?
No idea.
Is he just sponging off to you, basically?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Just trying to stay for a while, yeah. Okay. Well, he went over to Linda's house, which is my baby's mother, and he did some electrical work for her. He did some new ceiling fans and helped paint and stuff like that. So he's not just dead weight all the time, He's funny. We talk, we joke around a lot and stuff. And
the ammunition that you and I are talking about here, the kind of stuff is the ammunition that obviously that we believe has been used in some of these serial shootings. And I guess what I need from you about Sam is why do you think he would even mention the fact that he was involved in some kind of,
Okay, let's see. I'm Sam. I'm in a bar and I'm talking shit, and his buddy Jay, Dale, even though it's not me, sitting next to him, hey man, I'm not shooting people. Why would he do that? Maybe self-esteem problems. Maybe because he doesn't have.
Does he have a self-esteem issue?
He has bad self-esteem. He thinks he's worthless.
He said that too.
Yeah,
he thinks he's worthless.
He can't wait to die and stuff. And he just says, I wish I could be like you. You got a job, a car, a house, a kid. And you get to see a kid all the time. My kids are in Minnesota anyway. If I can see my kids, I'm just worthless. I don't think you're not worthless, man. I'm just a fucking drain on society. Well, whatever. So maybe if he was gonna, I don't think. I don't know why he would do that, but if you ask me, why would somebody do that? Why would someone say something like that? To strike fear, maybe to make people afraid of you, or to, in a sick way, boost yourself up. I'm the killer. Here I am.
Notoriety.
Yeah. You got nothing else going on. You got nothing else going on. So, you just kind of wandering the streets, drinking and smoking, and got nothing else. Maybe notoriety. I don't know. I can't believe you would.
Has he taken the same interest in this series of shootings that you have? Is he following
Yes, we both follow it.
So he has the same intimate knowledge about this stuff as you do. Is that correct? Would you?
You should. Yeah.
Okay. And
I don't know how good his memory is, but I got a steel trap memory. I have really good memory. So.
Okay. Do you guys? I guess my question would be has he followed it with the same intensity that you have? Do you believe? Do you guys sit and talk about this particular series of stuff?
We went for the news at night and stuff, and yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's at 9 and it's on at 10, and sometimes when I'm up in the morning at 5.
Has he ever mentioned to you about doing something like this?
No, he has not. Like I said, I haven't had any trouble with the law in quite a while. I want to keep it that way. And if I was around someone who was using my weapons and my gun to shoot somebody, I absolutely would put the drop on him, because what's going to happen one time is I'm going to be going to Taco Bell 11 o'clock at night. Someone's going to see my car and says, that's the guy that was out shooting, call the cops. They're going to hit me at Taco Bell and string me up by my toes. So I know if someone was going to be using any of my weapons in my car for something bad, and he kind of hinted around about it, I would have to do something about it.
So you wouldn't allow yourself to be...
No, I got a kid. It wouldn't. If I was 65 years old, cancer-ridden in a bed, and someone told me they're doing something wrong, I probably wouldn't think twice about it. But I'm only 33, and I got a lot. I love my kid.
You have a lot to live for. You have a kid, a job. You're working. You're trying to do something. Obviously,
I'm also a bartender. I'm also a photographer. Okay. And when you guys search my house, you're gonna say, "Oh my God, this guy's a raging alcoholic." I'm not an alcoholic. I just have a lot of booze. I'm a bartender.
Right.
I have 45 bottles of booze in my apartment. Easy.
All right. You don't have any small caliber rifles, do you? Or that you have?
What's a small caliber?
Like
rifle?
a 22 or anything like that? I don't have a 22 rifle.
I did a long time ago, and I believe I left it in Texas with my
How long
ago? 7-10 years ago.
Have you ever seen, or you or Sam, or Sam particularly, have you ever seen him does he have access to any type of small caliber rifles? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm sure his friends have some, but I don't know. You know, I mean,
Does he have a lot of friends?
Yeah, I don't associate with any of his friends. I do not like, even though I'm a bartender, I don't like going to bars.
Where do you work as a bartender?
They ship me out from school, so, you know, wherever they send me to is where I go, so. I've gone to private parties a lot of stuff. Pretty much I just do private parties. I don't
So
like
you work, you have a contractor that you work for or
I
something?
go through the ABC bartending school.
Gotcha.
And they call me and say, "Oh, you're busy Friday night?" And, no, I'm not. And I say, "Okay, well then why don't you go do this party?" Oh, okay. Bartending, yeah. My business card says bartender, photographer on them. I also do photography. I do all the sports in Arizona. I've done boxing and hockey and football.
Is Sam's interest in guns about the same as yours? Do you guys go out shooting together?
We have before, yeah.
Does he take a passion to shooting like you do?
Yeah.
So he's got a passion for it.
He knows what he's doing, yeah.
Okay.
He says he likes handguns a lot, and I told him I don't own any handguns. So he
Have you ever seen him with the gun?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? You don't know for sure.
Let me think. No, I have not. Not that I can remember. No handguns. That would stand out because I don't own a handgun.
Okay.
And I would have wanted to seen it, see what kind of gun it was. So no, yeah, I haven't seen it. So you're asking something about him having rifles or something, or what?
Yeah, I just wanted to know if you knew he had any access besides your guns. If he had any access to guns that you know of.
I have no idea. I mean,
Well, he's lived with you for a month, right?
Yeah.
I'm pressing you because I'm trying to get some information on him. I want to ask you some. I mean, you have to tell me because I don't know. Okay.
well, everybody's got a lot of friends, and I'm sure non-law officer related friends. If you went to 4 or 5 different people's houses, they're all going to have different types of guns. Guns are very popular. So for you to ask me, do I know if any of his friends have guns? I apologize. I'm going to have to draw a big fat. I have no idea. He'd never come home and said, "Look at the gun I just saw a gun that was a Mach 12 or whatever the hell it would be." I don't know. I don't like rifles that much. I like shotguns and I like shotguns. Yeah, I don't know what else I would say. Shotguns and pellet guns because sometimes you got to scare a cat off that's meowing at your door or something. You give them a little blink in the butt and they run off.
Gotcha. Or pigeons or whatever.
Pigeons.
Okay. I'm really in a quandary here for this. Why he would go around talking about something like this, and then actually almost reveling in the fact that he was.
He never mentioned anything like that to me, and
well, I mean, you guys are sitting there following this, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
day in day out, you guys are watching what's occurring here, and he doesn't have a job, and you're working, and we know that because you're following, you know that all these happen at night, right?
Between 10 and 5. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, I guess my question is, you know this guy a lot better than I do. Could he be responsible for this series of shootings?
I have no idea, sir. I'm sorry. I guess anybody could be. I don't know. Would I?
Well, has he ever made when you guys are watching all this stuff? Has he ever come out and said, that's cool?
We joke around. Sometimes I'll say, we'll be watching on TV and I'll say, "Man, that's what you fucking get when you walk down the street at 3 a.m., man. Someone's going to drive and shoot you." And the ass people just don't listen, People take this shit as a joke. You will not ever find me walking around at 4 a.m. down a dark street. That's the kind of stuff we talk about, just back and forth. And we talk about, how can you have 150 fucking cops on this and not have any kind of clues or sales, and we have no idea who's doing it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, how hard can it be to catch somebody doing this shit?
How stupid are we?
Yeah, and it's like, why don't they put? I'm not trying to.
No, I was going to say, no, it's fine.
Really,
No, I'm not at all.
I tell Sam,
I ask
what they
myself
need
the
to
same
do is
thing
take
every
their
day.
ass and get their own car and park it on 24th Street in Van Buren and write for sale 1800 Cold Bay City OBO and sit inverted a little bit with fucking their night vision binoculars and just start writing down people's license plates and go by. Okay, and then you hear a bang. Okay, we heard a bang down here. Let's track the 3,500 license plates we got and start going through and getting people with history of violence and stuff. I'm not a genius or anything, but we should talk about it. Just shouldn't be this hard. Maybe it is this hard to catch people, but
Maybe the person's just really good. I mean,
it could be,
right? I mean,
it could be a law enforcement officer, it could be Green, it could be Sam, it could be anybody. Shit, I mean, I don't know, but the person's got to be smart, you know. I mean, because they've been getting away with this shit for a long time, or it's a lot of different people using the same weapon, and they just can't put a finger on it because there's never a fucking witness, of course. Nobody ever sees anything when this happens, you know. So I mean, it's just amazing, you know.
when you talked about this with Sam, has he kind of, does he kind of take the same path that you do? Like, you know, how can the police not have found this?
Yeah.
I mean, how stupid are they? And I mean, and don't, you're not going to offend me.
I'm not. I'm trying.
No, you're not going to.
Offend you, okay?
No, you're not. You're not going to. But does he kind of believe the same things you do? Just like, I can't believe that they don't have more than what they've got, kind of stuff. Okay.
We get drunk sometimes and we'll sit around and talk silly stuff, but and he never comes to, hey, Dad, help us get out of the guys are shot with people. Or if, you know, I mean...
I'm sorry, he said what?
If we've ever gotten drunk, we'll sit and... But he's never came to me and said, hey, Dale, you know, I'm the one that shot out, you know, 85 people, or he's never done anything like that, so...
Okay. So you don't have any direct knowledge that he's ever used your weapons
Oh, no.
and your vehicle to do this stuff?
No. That would make me an accomplice somehow, some way. If I had knowledge he was committing crimes with my stuff, even if it wasn't my stuff, if I knew Jack Miller, who lived next door, and that's not the guy's name, if I knew he was doing it and I didn't report it, I believe that makes me somehow involved and I get in big trouble for that. The last episode of Seinfeld, I know it's not a real show or anything, but they all got in trouble because they didn't report a crime they saw. They all served 6 months in the pokey, and it's like, I don't want to serve no damn 6. I don't want to serve 6 hours anymore, you know, so... If I knew anybody was doing anything wrong, I would let him know.
One of the reason I'm so interested in Sam is because he has he's actually made some specific comments about things that only the police would know.
Do you guys know? Oh, to you?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
To a witness about this kind of stuff. And I'm going to ask you, again, has he ever given you any hint of knowledge about this kind of stuff?
He's never had anything where I said, wait a minute, that wasn't the big freak, you know, no.
Okay, you're sure about that?
Pretty sure, yeah. I mean, I could be missing something, but, I mean, I don't know. I got a very good memory, I'll give you that. Pretty good at my memory, but...
Has he ever had any, I mean, is he an angry person? Describe his personality for me. I mean, you said depressed, feels he's worthless. What about violent? I mean, is this...
I thought he had a lot more violence in this past, because he told me a lot of times he gets in a lot of bar fights. And,
well, I know that. I mean, I know that, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're violent. I mean, to go from bar fights to shooting people is obviously a big step. I mean, you know, that's a huge... I mean, people get in bar fights just because they can't handle liquor, and that's fisticuffs. But the mentality to have to jump from, you know, fists to weapons is a pretty big leap. So does he come across to you as that kind of person?
I don't know.
You know him, and I'm talking to you because, you know, unfortunately, you've been sucked into this hurricane that I'm calling Sam Dietman, so you tell me.
I guess anybody, if they don't have their cap on straight, so to speak, you know, I guess anybody could, but would Sam kill a bunch of people for no reason? I don't know.
Kill or shoot,
Okay, I'd have to say no. I probably have to have a reason, you know. I mean, from what I understand, these are all random shootings, you know. I think if somebody pissed him off, he might, but for just no reason, what the hell good does that do anybody, you know? Probably, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry.
Okay, no,
I'm trying to help you out the best I can.
No, I appreciate that. Have you ever heard the term RBing?
RBing?
RBing.
Yeah, there's RBing is a movie with Robin Williams.
Okay.
It's called RV. That's RBing.
Yeah. Have you ever heard that term before?
RV.
Besides out of that context?
Recreational vehicle? No. I don't own one. I never rented one or anything. No, I'm sorry. No. RV?
RVing.
No.
RVing.
No.
Never heard that term. Have you heard Sam use that term?
No, that's weird. I don't know.
Okay. So you would have no idea what that stands for?
RVing?
RVing.
No. Like R and then V-I-N-G?
Right.
No.
Right. Or R-R-B-I-N-G.
No. That doesn't sound familiar. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
What's RVing? What is that?
Well, I was hoping you could tell me. That's why I'm asking you, because that's what he made mention to this particular witness. Is that's what he called his current crime spree was RRB.
No,
Doesn't ring a bell, too.
already know.
Okay. During the time that you've known him, has he ever had a girlfriend?
Couple of them, I think. Jody was one. We should call them bar whores, but I don't really.
Bar whores?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really know what their names are, so I think Jody was one of them.
Anybody else?
I can't think of anybody now.
Do you know this Jody person?
No, I never met him, so I dropped him off one time.
Is it fair to say that the people that he knows you don't know at all?
Yeah, I don't know.
You have your own set of friends that you hang out with?
Yeah, he's never met any of them. So.
Okay. Do you guys go drinking a lot? Do you actually leave your premises and go drinking? No.
I've been to the bar with him maybe twice, but I'm always a DD. And I never like doesn't I never drink. I go and I get a Coke. I wish I had Dr. Pepper at these places, but they don't. We've been to the tavern on 43rd Avenue a couple of times, and sometimes I'll drop them off over at a bar. I don't like bars, I don't like cigarette smoke, so I drop them off and I leave. In fact, the other night, like Tuesday night, I dropped them off at 43rd Avenue in Peoria, and then
What's it 43rd Avenue in Peoria?
what's it? It's called Stardust. Might be Dunlap.
43rd Avenue in Dunlap?
Dunlap.
I know that's it.
Okay, Stardust.
Okay.
And I went home and cleaned up because I had an inspection Wednesday in my apartment. So I went home, cleaned up for about 4 or 5 hours. Texted him periodically, see if he needed a ride, because when he gets drunk, he gets silly. So he was at the bar. He said, "No, I'm leaving." He went to the casino, and then I texted him about 1 or 2 in the morning, asked him if I should pick him up. And he said, "Yeah, go ahead and leave." It was on I-10 and Wild Horse Pass, because we're not allowed to 101 McKellips anymore because an asshole was slashing those tires.
Right.
So I picked him up there, took him back home, and that was that.
That was that night.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But sometimes, I like, if he wants to go out with his friends, it's not like we're boyfriend and girlfriend. It's not like I'm gonna be a jealous little bitch and say, "You can't go out." He wants to go out and have fun, just don't ever bring any of your fucker friends in my house, because I don't want anybody knowing where I live. I don't want any problems in my place. Nobody knows where I live. That's why when Linda came to pick up my daughter, she had to have instructions how to get there, because she has a physical address, but nobody ever comes over my place, because the less people that are over my place, the less problems I have. So I'm a, I don't know, seclusive person. I like people.
Okay. One of the issues that's come up, and I know that because I've been working this case from the start to the finish, with this, and at least as far as the shotgun stuff goes, was I'm sure you've seen the vehicle description of the car in the paper.
Yeah, it's a mid-sized four-door car.
Right. Do you know the color of it by any chance?
It's just as light colored, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's as light colored. That could be. It's funny because there's been times I'm like, in a group of like 8 or 9 cars at a stoplight, and I look around, I'm like, look, 4-door mid-sized cars. There's 8 of us. I'm like, well, with that kind of description, no wonder they can't. If it was a Ford Pinto 2-door red, you'd have the guy already. But who's ever doing it is using
big Ford Explorer.
Exactly. They're looking for an avalanche too. I know that. They're looking for a black avalanche in one of the shootings.
Where'd you hear that?
It's in the paper.
Okay.
So they're looking for a black avalanche, and in Scottsdale. So it's like.
Here's one of the issues that came up, and I'm going to be honest with you. There was and only I know this because it's never been released, but there was a very detailed description of this particular vehicle given by one of the witnesses to this case. And she describes your vehicle to a T. Matter of fact, she only missed, what is yours, 98? She only missed the year by 2, and she knew that because she dates or at one time was involved with a car net, and they would shop, look, do all kinds of stuff. And she describes your car to a T. So now you see where I'm coming with this. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's very important that you continue to be honest with me about Sammy. I know you guys are friends. Okay.
No, we're buds, but man, if he killed 85 people, man,
well,
that's
he
on
didn't
him.
kill 85.
So, I'm just saying, but if he killed however many people he killed or shot or whatever, that's on him. That's not on me. So I'm not protecting anybody. So
okay. So as far as you know, you guys have never been together doing anything violently together.
no, hell no, no way.
Okay.
No.
Right.
As far as I know, no, it's not as far as I know. It's absolutely not, no. As far as any violence with us together, no, we don't. We've never had fist fights, mad at each other. I've never been there when he's, fought.
Have you ever been, this is gonna, well.
No, go ahead.
No, some of the shootings, one in particular, had a 12 gauge that was involved.
Mm-hmm.
You own a 12 gauge. I'm going to get back to why Sam is.
Okay, now hold on one second. I've had that 12 gauge in my custody for only about a month though.
Okay, you didn't tell me that.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
My father gave it to me maybe a month and a half ago. So.
Right. So you've only had that shotgun, the 12 gauge for a month.
Yeah.
Is that the only access
And the
to
303. My father gave me both those weapons maybe a month and a half ago because, like I said, he's 73 years old and he never uses them anymore. So.
Okay. So the shotgun is the 12 gauge you only have. Okay. And you've owned the 410s for how long? And the 20 gauge, all the rest of your weapons. How long you had those? A long time. Like years and years.
Yeah. 20 gauge last year. Linda bought it for me because I was actually being good to her for a while. And she said, let's get you something good. It was like 04 maybe. I got it. It's in my name and everything. I got that at Walmart, I think. Walmart. And the 410s I've had for quite a while. The other 410s I've had for a long time.
Okay.
The 410 pump I got in Texas in like 94, 95. And the 410 single, same thing. And my 28 gauge I just bought recently.
I know I asked you this before, but besides the...
So I didn't modify this, Sam did. He knew how to do all that stuff. I was having a problem with the pistol grip. So he saw this off. He's got all the tools. I don't know how to do that shit. I'm a janitor. I don't know how to do that stuff. So he modified it. He put the new bolt clip in. He put the wing nuts. He put all that stuff in there.
But you're talking about the butt of the gun.
Yeah.
Not the barrel.
No.
So on the 410s, excuse me, neither one of your barrels is altered.
No.
Okay. Obviously, this raises even more concern because I know for a fact that in several of the shootings, a 410 has been used.
Okay.
We've recovered evidence that definitively links it to a 410. Okay. Now, here we have Sam bragging about this. We have your vehicle perfectly described at one of these scenes, and we have 410 ammunition that we know that we retrieved, and we have what you described as 7.5 shot, which you said you own yourself, and 8, correct? 410?
Yeah, 5, 7.5, 8, maybe
Okay.
slug.
Slug.
A couple of double lots in there, maybe triple lots.
That's also been recovered from these particular shootings.
Okay.
Do you see where I'm going with
I
this?
understand, yeah.
Okay. So, based on all that, is there anything else that you'd like to tell me about Sam that you haven't told me that you think you might need to tell me now before this comes crashing down on you?
No, he doesn't get along with his parents. He was just
If he was doing this, why would he do it?
fucking maniac. I don't know. Why
Is
would
he a fucking maniac?
I don't think he is, but if somebody was to do this stuff, they'd have to be a maniac. I mean, you just don't do stuff like this, for fun. I guess. I don't know. Is him a maniac? I'd say no. I would never want my kid if I thought he was a maniac. So, if he's been doing this shit and he confesses or they find out that's him, man, it'd be a big shock to me because usually a pretty good judge of character. And if I thought Sam was doing something, I wouldn't have been anywhere near my daughter. And tonight, when the SWAT team came in my apartment, my daughter was with me in the house, and Sam was around too. So.
Do you understand now why the SWAT team came into your house?
I do now. At the time, I could not understand. I'm like, what the fuck? First I thought it was Sam with a flashlight. Because get on the fucking phone. I'm like, yeah, right. And then when I saw like 80 people coming behind, I'm like, son of a bitch. Hit the floor.
What was your first thought? I'm just curious. You
I
certainly.
just thought he was just fucking around. I thought Sam had a flashlight, came back in. And then when they handcuffed me, I thought, I didn't know. I thought, what the fuck? I thought maybe the methamphetamine or maybe I didn't know, and I'm like, and then when they.
Now you've been around. I mean, you've watched stuff. You know that we don't tactically go in and do this to kind of people for a little bit of meth.
I didn't know, though. I didn't know.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I believe that Mr. Diekman's involved in this series of shootings. I really do. I just, with everything I've got and everything that we,
I'm speechless. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. That's just absolutely astonishing to me that I missed out on a pretty good judge character.
yeah, I think you are.
And, you know, I stay out of trouble for most of the part, you know, except for alcohol and a couple of little drugs every now and then. I haven't been in trouble with the law or anything, but that would just be so, a kick in the ass to me, a spit in the face, that someone would use my gun and my car to go out and hurt people like that while I'm at fucking home sleeping, you know, and God knows, you know.
When you are home sleeping, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I would not, where else would I be? And when I got my daughter, you know, I can't leave even for a minute. If I leave to go run and check mail, you know, it's like I check on her, I lock the door, I run, check mail, and run back. But I think, what if I fall and break my leg, you know, and I'm out there screaming, I can't leave. I don't never leave for more than a minute or two when I got my daughter there, because I can't. We sleep in different places, not he sleeps in the same bedroom I do. I mean, he's out in the front room, I'm in the back bedroom. The way my apartment is, you walk in the front door, here's my front room, here's my kitchen, my bedroom's back here, he sleeps on an air mattress here. If he wants to leave, you know, he can leave. It's not like he's got to go.
Are you a sound sleeper?
Right. Well, I have sound machine and I have a fan on because I like to have noise when I'm sleeping, because if I'm you know, if I'd like to, I don't know, I like to be a sound sleeper. I like to have noise stuff, like silly stuff waking me up. So.
Okay. I'm going to show you something real quick here, if I could. This is obviously very curious. Let me show you this. Have you ever seen this before? Does that look familiar at all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is Phoenix.
Right. But does this map look familiar at all to you?
Sorry, no.
Doesn't ring a bell at all?
Mm-mm.
This was taken a couple of days ago from your garbage. And on it you can see different spots that have been marked. We got red here and we got some blue
Oh,
here.
I see that.
Yeah, see that? You see this line right along here? Do you know what street that runs on?
Washington.
No, it's actually Van Buren.
Oh, I'm sorry. So
Yeah.
Okay, this is the Calip's right here. It's where
Yeah.
I live down here somewhere.
Okay. So this was taken from your trash.
Okay.
This specifically corresponds to different spots that are very close to spots that I'm currently investigating the series of shootings.
Okay.
Can you explain to me how this ended up in your trash? You see where I'm in the sand?
I
Okay.
understand.
Can you explain that to me?
So I'm sorry, I apologize. No, I do not. I have a map of the United States in my closet, but I don't.
So you're saying you've never seen this particular thing?
I don't know.
I mean, this is a good size. I mean, you'd think you'd see something like this if you had it.
Well, why did I throw it away? I mean, that doesn't, you know, I mean, if I'm going to keep it, I'm going to keep it.
No, I didn't ask you. I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying you found this in your trash.
I haven't seen that. Sam's pretty good about taking the trash out, so I throw it out on the porch and he throws it out for me. In fact, tonight he went to take the trash out and never came back. And about 5 minutes later, a SWAT team came in, so.
Okay. So you've never, to your investing knowledge, you've never seen this particular map? Okay, but ended up in your garbage.
In my actual garbage or my garbage can? Oh,
Your actual garbage.
I apologize. I don't know.
You don't have to apologize. I'm just asking.
I don't. It doesn't. I've been forthcoming and everything with you, so. See, I don't understand the red dots and.
That's why I'm asking you. It's a map from your apartment.
Mm-hmm.
You're sure?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure. But I do have colored markers in my house. You know, I have red and blue and gray and green and black, and I have Sharpie markers. I have a whole bunch of them in there.
Okay. Is there a map like this that we're going to find inside your apartment?
No.
You're sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Okay. I mean, this one was thrown out, obviously, but there's no other maps in there that would mark particular positions. Is that correct?
The only other thing you're going to find is in my scrapbook I have of this stuff is I've circled areas in the plane that where people have never hit before. As far as the shootings that have been in the newspapers, I made big red things and stuff like that, you know, as to where people would, you know, it's like, look, you know, why can't they concentrate in this area where there's been a bunch of shootings, in this area where there's been a bunch of shootings, because there's never been anything here, there's never been anything here, there's never been anything here, and stuff like that. But I've never, you know, you're not going to see anything that says, you know, a dot that says, haha, look what I did, and anything like that. No, absolutely not. And
if you saw that, you'd obviously report that.
I would ask him what the fuck that was, and, you know.
So on this, is this a map that you have there that you plotted this stuff out with? Is that what you've done? I'm sorry.
No, it's not a map. It's newspaper clippings. So I don't use maps.
You said you were drawn on.
On newspaper clipping, it had, you know, it had all the little dots. You have piece of paper.
Hang on just a second.
Okay, per se, let's just say something like this. Let's see, these are all the streets here, and there's other streets here, right? And they said there's a bunch of shootings here, okay? And there's a bunch of shootings here, okay? Say, well, and then there's scattered rapings and animal shootings and stuff here and there. I'm like, well, look, they've got a bunch of shootings here and a bunch of shootings here. Why don't they not worry so much about these areas right here and concentrate their ass on this area and this area where there's, you know, 13 shootings here and 16 shootings here, and, you know, the baseline Maple Street like 3 or 4 and killed a bunch of people, 5 spots. Why don't they worry about these spots so much and not this stuff? But as far as me mapping out and me having a map, that's another map that's not on a newspaper.
Not necessarily you. I mean, I didn't assume you were saying.
But as far as that, I would not see anything in my house from my handwriting or anything like that. So no, I don't.
Okay, that was my question. Okay. During this spree that we believe started in May of last year, and we've been tracking through May. This is a map.
Oh yeah, it'd be like this, yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, why don't they look in here, look in here? Why don't they? You know, mine would be like right here. You know, there's nothing here, there's nothing here, and there's nothing here. What the hell are they upping more patrol in here and here for? You know, stuff like that.
So in other words, you think we should have been concentrating in areas where he hadn't hit? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
or where we had hit?
He hit so much in one spot. I'm just like, you know, he hasn't hit anywhere here. So the guy must live here, or he must live here, because you're not going to go out of your neighborhood that much, you know? I mean, I don't think you would. I think you do shit right in your own neighborhood. So you hear more.
That's very perceptive. I'm just curious. Why would you come up with something like that? I mean,
you want to hear about it. People who do shit like that want to hear about it. They're notoriety. They want their name in the paper, and they want that kind of shit. So they're going to do it right in their backyard, so they can go to the neighbor and say, oh, did you see what happened last night? Johnny got stabbed to death 85 times. He was stabbed in the neck. And oh my God, let's cry on each other's shoulders. And then they all go in the house and they laugh, you know? That's why. But people, they have to live right here, and they have to live right here. That's my person. I could be wrong.
Okay, I understand. That's very perceptive. I'm just asking you that. In your conversations with Sam, did he ever say or mention about when you guys were following this so intensely? Did he ever mention or talk about the fact that he may have been in or around one of these at one time or another?
No. He never said, "Oh man, that happened. I was just here an hour ago." No, he's never saying like that.
Okay. And as far as you can tell me, have you ever been in or around any of these areas where one of these shootings has occurred?
Oh yes, actually we were. We were at my brother's house.
Okay.
And an old man got shot, and I came up on him, and the cops showed up. I flagged him down, pulled him over there. Sal and I were there at one of the shootings. So.
Okay, so that kind of piques my curiosity here.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so you guys were actually physically at one of these things.
I gave my ID and everything to the police officer. I gave a full statement. Stayed on as long as I could.
Okay. You give a what statement?
Full statement.
A full statement?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate to do this. Can I use knock my name before we start again one more time?
Sure.
I'm sorry. I hate to keep doing this.
That's all right. Do you have a bladder issue? Or
yeah, I do. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'll bring the officer in. Give me just a sec, okay? You know where we left off? Okay. Hey, you okay?
Sounds like cold. I might get that yellow blanket back.
See if I can find that for you. I think we're gonna
Okay.
move again. Okay, where were we? We were talking about.
I spent the night. I spent the night at my brother's house one night, and
Now, I just not to interrupt you. Is that something you did regularly?
no, almost never. It was kind of late though, so I got home and Jeff said the cat Kinky got out. Can't find the little girl anymore. She's pregnant. So we so I went walking around trying to find Tinky, and we walked.
That's your brother's cat.
My cat, Tinky, like Stinky without an S. And
Here. All right. Okay, Stinky.
no, like Stinky without the S though. So I call it Stinky. Yeah.
I got you. Sorry.
Weird name, I know.
All right. And this is your cat.
Yeah.
It lives with your brother.
Found it dead, but
I'm sorry.
found it dead, but we ended up finding the cat dead.
At night?
No, a little while later. So
Okay. So you guys are out looking for your cat.
yeah.
What happened?
You're thinking this old guy sitting on his porch. Hey man, have you seen a cat? A little gray cat about this big. And he walks up and he's all, oh, you know. I'm like, what the hell, man? He's got blood pouring out of the spot. I'm like, oh shit, you know what happened? He said they shot me, and I said, who shot you? He said they shot me. I said, who shot you? We ran around that a little bit. And I said, man, you don't touch me, because you want to touch me. I said, don't touch me, man. You know, I said, you stay here, and I'm going to go get my cell phone. I went to go get my cell phone. The cops pulled up, so jumping up and down. Got him, flagged him over there. They went over there. I gave him a full statement. Gave him my card, everything, told me everything was going on. Sam also gave him a statement, but they said, hey, you've been drinking now? I said, yeah. They said, what about you? And I said, I don't drink. He's been drinking all fucking day and all night. And they said, well, we won't take his statement. We'll just take yours.
So they didn't take Sam's statement because he was drinking?
Yeah. He was pretty drunk, so.
Okay, and do you remember when exactly this was? Do you remember what time frame this was?
I'm sorry, I don't.
Okay.
Guy,
So we got...
I didn't know the location though. It was 89th Avenue and Camelback.
Where the shooting occurred?
Yeah, and well, it could have occurred anywhere. Where we found the guy was 89th
That's what I'm
Avenue.
asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the cops pulled up and there was blood just all over the place. And
Did you recognize the guy?
I've never seen the guy in my life. So.
Now, at that
I live
point,
around there, so.
At that point, can you give me what was your brother's
Jeff's
address at that point? Do you remember?
same of 91st Avenue and Camelback.
Do you know the exact address?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So anyways, I came back to Jeff's place. He said, I think he's gone. I was like, damn, you gotta keep the better on her. She's pregnant. So down I walked around. Didn't find the cat, but we did find that. The cops kept us there for about 2 hours.
Obviously, because
Yeah,
that was seriously when...
yeah, finally I said, after I gave up all my statements, it was real nice. I said, well, can we go? And they said, yeah. And we walked back to the house, and I told Sam it's pretty fucking late. I think I'm just gonna crash here on the couch. And I slept for a couple hours until probably 5 or 6 or whatever time it was, and then I went home.
Okay. Now at that point, and this was, I actually have your supplement here that I'm looking at, and that's another thing I want to talk to you about, because now...
Oh, the supplement, is that it?
Yeah, this is it.
Oh, okay,
Right
great,
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you'll have all the dates and everything.
Yeah, it was actually, looks like May 31st. Actually, it happened on May 30th at about 11 o'clock. And it was a shotgun that hit Mr.
I know. I saw that.
Mr. Hodges in that one. You sure you saw it?
Oh my god, yeah,
Yeah.
I puked, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know what it was at first because he had one big hole right here
Mhm.
and he had a bunch of thick streams of blood. And I'm like, whoa, and he wants to touch me. I said, no, don't touch. And I said, where do you live, man? And he turned around and I'm like, oh my god, I'm out of here. I'm gonna get my cell phone. You stay here, Sam. I'm like, whoa. He had little dots like someone took an ice pick right now, went pop, 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 all over his back. I'd never seen it like I seen it on TV all the time. I was like, whoa. So I went to go to get my cell phone, and they must have when the cops pulled up. And I'm like, hi, and jumping up and down, hey, he's over here, because they were on the wrong side of the fence.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm jumping, the cops jumped the fence, asked me why. They said, don't move. I said, hey man, I don't want nowhere, don't worry about me. So they ran over there, asked the guy what happened. He said, somebody shot me. And I gave him my full statement. I left nothing out. I gave him my card. I gave him everything. So
Your card from your business, from where you work?
no, I gave them. I believe you might have even given that. I gave them my ID.
Your
I'm sorry, my identification card.
Okay.
My driver's license.
I'm just curious. It does appear that they talked to Samuel that night.
They didn't take a.
Yeah, and they did. He gave kind of the same statement you did. You guys were both looking for your cat, and you heard screaming, and then they you guys observed my victim walking down the sidewalk covered in blood.
Oh, God, it's terrible.
Do you know why in his statement that he would refer to you as his brother?
He must have been talking about he'd been drinking a lot, so he might have said, been talking about my brother, and he might have got it wrong.
No, he specifically referred to you as his brother.
No.
Is that something he's done before?
Never known. He was probably asking, where did you guys come from? You might have said his brothers or.
Do you don't remember your brother's exact address though? If I gave it to you, would that sound? Would you have to ring a bell?
Maybe.
Does 9013 West Elm sound right?
That might be it, yeah.
You think that's it?
He just moved though.
Okay, but at that point.
At that point, yeah, he just moved in the same complex.
Does 9013 West Elm sound
That might
right?
be it, yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, one of the things that we found out about Mr. Dietman during our research, because obviously of the seriousness of this case, was that we believe that at one point he lived with your brother.
He did. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, let's talk
Months and
about
months
that
and
a
months.
little bit. Oh, he did?
Yeah, he was there for a while. So.
Oh, okay. Well, can you tell me a little bit about that? When did he start living there, and how long has he been there?
Now, I hope I don't get things wrong and make it hard on you guys. I'm going to say about March of '06.
So it's saying from March of '06 to when he moved in with you?
August, yeah. Early August. I'm sorry. Well, what is it?
It's August 4th
Yeah,
today.
he's been here months, so he left the first part of July at Jeff's house.
Okay, so from March '06 to July, is that right?
March, April, May, June, July. Yeah, probably. I mean, you
06.
could ask him, he'll take better.
Well, I want to ask you first. You give me your best recollection. You're a sharp guy, and you seem to have the facts pretty good here. So I want to ask you because I don't think he's gonna be a sharp. Okay, just to be honest with you. So you think July '06 is the?
Yeah, I know, because I picked him up from his house, grabbed his shit, and brought him over to my place.
Oh,
Because
okay.
he had enough of living with Jeff and Celeste. All Jeff wants to do is sit around and drink all night long, and Celeste is mentally handicapped. Not mentally handicapped, physically handicapped.
Who is?
Celeste, Jeff's girlfriend. Well, not his girlfriend, but I guess his person lives with.
So for that's about 4 months basically, he was living with your brother Jeff, physically living at the house. What happened, and do you know why it was he ended up leaving? Or why?
They were transferred to a smaller place. That's what Jeff told me anyway.
So there was no falling out?
I don't know. Sam didn't help Jeff move. Jeff kind of pissed off, but I don't think that had anything to do with why he
You
left.
sure about that? Do you keep in contact with your brother a
Yeah.
lot? You talk to him a lot?
He asked me if I'd seen him and stuff. And I'm a general type guy, so I talk a little bit here and there and stuff. And that's about it. So.
Do you own a cell phone, by the way?
Me, yeah, I do.
I got that. Does Sam own a cell phone? Do you happen to know Sam's cell phone number by chance?
No, I got it. He's number 10 in there, so sorry.
You have to dial it yourself. He doesn't come 10.
Yeah, just,
Alright.
Sam.
So he doesn't own.
Yeah.
Does he do a lot of text messaging, or do you guys text message each other?
Yeah, sometimes.
Can I ask you this? And I'm going to ask a question I probably already know the answer to, but when you guys communicate, do you communicate mostly by text as opposed to
Who's you guys?
you and Sam?
It's both. Sometimes you know what, son of a bitch. I got up one morning and he wasn't there. It was like 4. And I texted him, "Where are you?" And he said, "I'm here." And I said, "Where's here?" And then he showed up a little while later. It was weird. But normally, no, he'll go to empty trash and
Okay, now before when we talked, you said there was
I didn't
actually
think about that. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm
It's
sorry.
very. I can't tell you how important it is to
That's
be.
why I'm trying to remember everything. As we
Okay.
talk, I might come up with other stuff.
Good.
Don't get mad at me.
No, I'm not. I just don't want
I'm
you.
not trying to pull a fast one here.
I don't think you are. It's very important.
It'll be on my text messages. I know you guys can run that stuff and you'll find out everything I've been texting everybody, but one of them will be.
Do you remember when this text message occurred?
I'm sorry. No.
Okay, so he was gone at 4 in the morning. Did he have your vehicle?
I don't know. I didn't check. I said, "Where are you?" I texted him, "Where are you?"
And what did he say he
I
was?
believe he texted back, "I'm here," and then when he got back, either came back in the morning. Yeah, he came back in the morning because I went back to sleep. And when I got up, I had my daughter, so I wasn't going to leave and go out anywhere. When I got up, I asked him, "What the hell?" And he said he went for a walk. And I said, "Where?" I said, "Can't go anywhere. You don't have the gate thing. It's in my car. It's always a match. I keep it in the same spot." And he says, "There's a place to hop the wall." I said, "Well, where the hell would you go?" At 4 in the morning, I couldn't sleep. I've been drinking, couldn't sleep. I forget if I walked around, I'd be all right. But I text him stuff like, "Where are you?" Or like tonight, I don't know, like we'll text each other Akuda Matata, or what was it, Akuda Matata, which is no worries from Lion King, and Akuda Matata. And thanks for taking the trash out.
Okay, let's talk about the day that occurred. You remember when that was, that he was out at 4 o'clock? Has it been recently? Long time ago?
Within a week or 10 or so.
Okay. Now you know that because you've been following this, you know that the first bunch of these series occurred on the west side, right?
Right over where my brother lives.
Now, do you see my curiosity in Mr. Dietman? And I'm curious at that point, and it appears at that particular time that you were also up there visiting him, your brother and Samuel, and you guys are right at where this occurs. I'm going to ask you straight out, and you need to be completely 100% honest with me. That night, on October 30th at 11 o'clock.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you see Mr. Dietman shoot this particular
Oh,
night?
absolutely not. No way. No, I would never have. Actually, I wouldn't let him move in with me after that. That was October 30th?
No, May 30th.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's October 30th.
I mean, I'm sorry, May 30th.
No, absolutely not. If I had seen him shoot anybody, I would have got away from him and called it in, and I sure the hell wouldn't let something like that move in with my 30-month-old daughter. No, absolutely not. I did not see him. But my brother has a 4-door gray light colored sedan, so.
He does.
Yeah.
Do you know if Samuel had access to that, or they drove?
I don't know. He drove Jeff a lot to the bars because Jeff doesn't like to drink and drive. So Sam drove that car a lot. It's registered to.
Does your brother own shotguns?
I don't know. I know he used to. I don't know. He's an alcoholic or he drinks real bad, so he sells a lot of his stuff. So I don't know right now what my brother has. Right now he's got a 22, black 22. He bought from some guy in the neighborhood.
What kind of 22?
Rifle.
A 22 rifle?
Yeah, my brother Jeff does. And he's got my pellet gun. Other than that, you could have something else. I have no idea.
Do you know what kind of 22 it is?
I have no idea.
It's a bolt action set?
Could be. I don't know. I don't remember. Could be semi-auto.
Well, obviously this puts a new spin on everything we're talking about. I mean, you're telling me at this point that he's actually living up there. You and he, are right there when this whole thing occurred.
I never stayed with him. I always slept on the couch because the cops kept us there quite a long time, which I understand they had to. But by the time we were done, I was tired looking for my cat, and I was tired, periods, I slept on the couch.
I didn't see where you guys were anywhere else at these things, right? Or he at this thing.
I don't know about him, but I haven't been anywhere else.
This is the only one.
For me, yeah. I don't know. If you got something else on him, please don't be mad at me for that. Unless he says he stayed with me, that's the only way. Like, let's say last week you guys pinned him down in a corner somewhere and said, hey, somebody got shot over here. What are you doing over here? I stayed with my buddy Dale over here. As far as Sam and I being together with the cops questioning us about this shooting in somewhere, no, this is it right here.
Okay.
I never heard anything about it. I gave them everything. Nothing's wrong on that information. Sky Harbor Boulevard, where I work, my phone number, all that stuff. I have no reason to. My day's off. I have no reason to lie about anything. I gave them all the information. Never heard anything. If you don't mind me asking, did the guy live? Is he okay? Or?
He did live.
Okay.
I mean, he's not okay. Who is okay when they get hit with a shotgun? Well, that's the thing. You always have, scarring for the rest of your life, of course. When was the last time that let me ask you this. When was the last time that you went out shooting your guns? Do you remember?
About a month ago, maybe.
Okay. And when you went out shooting, did Samuel always go with you to shoot? Or
I've been shooting for 10 years, but like the last 2 or 3 times, yes, I'm with me.
Okay. And that was how long ago? A month ago?
About a month ago, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to be honest with you. We were serving a search warrant on your apartment.
Oh, you can search.
Okay. And in it, we're finding 4-shot 410. You didn't say that. Do you own 4-shot 410?
Isn't that the double lot or?
No. The 4-shot's just bird shot. It's just a little bit heavier bird shot. It's like for if you were going to hunt turkey or something.
Like I said, I put in there. I have a bunch of different types of shot. I mean, I even told you I have like 9, 7.5, 8. I mean, if I have 4, I'm sure I do.